Hey guys, what's going on? Dan Meyer here, and in this short video we're going to talk about how to break down a crappie spot and locate crappies as fast as possible. Now this video is kind of an offshoot from a video that I put up last week entitled How to Break Down Lakes and Locate Crappies Fast. In that video we talked about how to look at a lake map and kind of what to do to find crappies quickly on a new lake. I'll put a link to that video up in the corner of this video. If you haven't seen that one yet, just pause this one, click on the link, quickly watch that video. But in this video we're going to talk about what to do once you find those crappie spots, those areas that have a high potential of holding crappies and that kind of concentrate crappies. That's what we talked about in the last video. This video we're going to talk about what to do when you get to those spots. Now, to kind of aid our quest for finding crappies and kind of the map that we're using for all of these videos is my 7-step crappie locating system. That system just helps you really know what to do when you're going to go to a new lake or a lake that you've been fishing and how to find crappies fast. It's the steps that I take to break down a lake and find those crappies. You can get that system by clicking on the link in the description of this video. Now, I've been having some trouble with that link. Some people, they're clicking on the link to get the system and it's taking them to a survey instead of to my page. If that's happened to you, I apologize for that. I've got a guy working on it. Hopefully we'll have that taken care of right away. But most people aren't having any trouble. They're able to click on the link, enter their email. I email you the crappie locating system. That's kind of what we're using as a roadmap to aid us through all these videos. But in today's video now, we're going to talk about what to do when you get to a spot that you want to fish crappies. So the first thing we got to look at is kind of just what, obviously our goal is to catch crappies, but when we're looking at a lake map, we've identified multiple spots that hold crappies. Kind of what's the goal when we get to each spot? And the goal is simply we want to do one of two things. We either want to make contact with fish, even if it's only one, because if we find one fish, there's a good chance there's more close by, or we want to have covered the spot good enough that we can say there are no crappies here. We don't want to get to a spot where we've only covered part of it, so there's no fish there, but there could be crappies in a different part of the structure. We want to make sure we can either say yes, there are fish here, or no, there are no fish anywhere. So this is the example lake we used in the last video, so I still have it up, so we're just going to use that. And let's just say we have identified this spot right here and we're going to fish that. So how would I fish that spot? So we have a bay here. Out in front of the bay there's a deeper spot, a little depression there, and we've decided there could be crappies there. So how am I going to fish it? Well, we see here we've got a 20-foot contour. The very middle of this, we're going to say bottoms out. Let's say this contour here is 25 and 27 feet is the very bottom of this little depression here. On small structures like this, you can pretty much drill out the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by coming right in the middle, right in that 27 feet, and I'm just going to drill a grid of holes that I like to drill just nice even squares. That's just how I like to do it. So those little dots, those are my holes, and I maybe do four rows long, and cover 20-30 yards, just whatever it takes to really drill out the middle of that, because I want to know, are the fish sitting in the deepest part? Sometimes they do, especially if you have high sun, but a lot of times what you're going to find in the deepest part is, especially if it's real deep, like 30 feet or deeper, a lot of times the deepest part of the hole is going to have small ones. Now again, but not always. That's why we have to check it. Sometimes the deepest part is going to be stacked with fish, so we have to check. But I'm going to start out by just drilling a grid right through the deepest part. If there's not fish there, I'm going to come up a little bit shallower, and then I'm going to go into that. So we have 25 feet here, but we covered that with our grid because it's a small area. I'm going to move up to maybe this 22 to 24 feet, and I'm going to drill holes this time around the contours of that deeper, the next, you know, the next contour line up. It's 20 feet here, but I'm going to drill out like this 22 to 23 feet. I'm going to just drill lines all around it. That's going to give me a pretty good idea if there's any fish there. If there's not fish in those depths on a structure like this, I'm going to move on. Now when I'm drilling holes, because I'm searching, I'm not going to drill the holes real close to each other because there's no need to. I'm looking for scatter fish, and I only need to find one. If I find one, then I can drill out an area, put holes closer together, and try to really dial in on that school. But when I'm searching, I'm going to maybe pop holes every 10 yards, and then we're going to check it. I'm not going to fish the holes very long. I might just check the hole with my flasher. If there's no fish, move on. Or I might fish the hole for like 30 seconds to a minute and just see if I bring in any fish that are kind of on the outside of the hole. If there's no fish there, I'm going to move to the next spot. Now this spot right here is a little bit bigger. So here I'll probably start out, let's just say the middle again is the deepest part. I'll come to the middle, I'll put my grid. If there's no fish there, I probably won't drill this whole thing. If it's big, I'll move and then I'll hit another section of it. I'll put another grid in it. Nothing there. Then I'll come to this section, put another grid on it. If there's nothing there, I'm probably going to move to a different structure. Now, the size of the lake and the number of spots is going to kind of dictate how well I drill out an area. For example, if this lake only has 2 spots and I haven't found any fish yet, I might continue to drill holes around this. I might go out to the next contour line and drill that out, because I'm pretty sure if there's crappies, they're going to be someplace around here, at least some of them. If I've drilled this many holes and I haven't found any, I'm starting to think, okay, maybe they're in the weeds on this lake, but I still don't know, so I'm going to keep on drilling out this basin, hoping to locate the schools. So if it's a big lake, there's a ton. Let's say I have 7 spots I need to check out. I'm going to hit the primed spots of each structure, the middle and the outsides. If it's a smaller lake and these are really the only places they could be, I'm going to take more time to just put a hole all over the place to try to locate these fish. So that's pretty much what I do once I find a structure. If I'm trying to locate fish fast, which I always am, I try to get a lot of holes quick, you know, in the highest percentage areas, and then I want to move on to a new spot because I want to find these fish as quickly as possible. So that's kind of how I do it. So I hope this video helped you. Make sure you get my 7-step crappie locating system by clicking on the link in the description of this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.